am a firm believer that President Trump will run and win again in 2028. So I've already endorsed President Trump. A man like this comes along once every century if we're lucky. We've got him now. He's on fire, and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028.
Now, in my personal opinion, this should be plastered everywhere. I should have woke up this morning in the UK and I should have seen this plastered everywhere. In this video, we're going to see Steve Bannon just expose exactly what it is that they're planning to do to get Trump to run a third time in 2028. He explains what they're going to do. He explains a little bit about the way that they're going to do it. Let's watch this video together, and then towards the end, we'll unpack it and I'll give you guys my thoughts.
Joining me now, White House chief strategist at one time of the first Trump administration, host of Bannon's War Room, Mr. Steve Bannon. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Chris, thanks for having me on News Nation, and I appreciate you.
So the only thing that you're not going to like talking about, we'll talk about first. I'm watching CPAC, and they put up a poll of potential, next generation, right? Post-Trump. You are second on the list after the VP as people getting the nod at CPAC to be president. A lot of people were surprised by this. My first question, you have anything to do with putting your name in that list because you have presidential ambitions?
No. And President Trump, I'm a firm believer that President Trump will run and win again in 2028. So I've already endorsed President Trump. A man like this comes along once every century if we're lucky. We've got him now. He's on fire, and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028.
And obviously, anybody who doesn't like what you say but judges it as a function of a lack of intelligence doesn't know anything about you. I don't make that mistake. You're a smart guy. You know he's term limited. How do you think he gets another term?
We're working on it. I think we'll have a couple of alternatives. Let's say that. We'll see. We'll see what the definition. We'll see what the definition of term. We'll see what the definition of term limit is.
All right. Well, so you're talking about litigating this issue, because I don't want people to listen to our interview and say Bannon's cooking up an insurrection. Bannon is cooking up. You know what I mean? I want people to get a straight take on where your head is. What are you suggesting?
Chris, as you know, I've had greater long shots than this. When we supported President Trump after the election, I realize you don't believe the election in 2020 was stolen. We do. We fervently believe that. When President Trump went back to Mar-a-Lago on January 20th, 2021, he was the longest of long shots to return to the White House. We said that day in our podcast and doubled down, having President Trump's back, that he was coming back not just to win the primary, he would win the White House, and we had to get organized and drive that victory, and also start working on all the policies, what's called Project 2025 or the America First Policy Institute, but all those different think tanks that started putting in the policies that you're seeing today in what we call Flood the Zone or Days of Thunder, or however you want to describe it. But this is many years in the making. So we've had greater long shots than Trump 2028, and we've got a lot of stuff we're working on there. We're not prepared to talk about it publicly, but in a couple of months, I think we will be.
But you are not suggesting revolution or overthrow or anything that people would condemn.
Chris, we just won one of the biggest sweeping victories. We're in the middle of a 1932 type realignment if we can continue on and continue to have populist policies, populist nationalist policies. We have African American men coming to our side. We have Hispanics coming to our side. So no, we're huge believers in democracy because we know how to get votes out. We know how to get low propensity, low information voters out to support the president's policies. The anti-democratic forces, I think you're seeing them today in the courts. I mean, they're trying to obstruct a sitting president of the United States from fulfilling his executive mandate. So no, we're the big believers in democracy, and we show it because we won this unbelievable come from behind, not just in 2016, as you know, but in 2024 when virtually everybody ruled Trump out.
There's no question about that. And in 2024, people did not see him making the kind of comeback that he did. And that is certainly and a historical comeback, no question. But I just wanted to make it clear for people so that they can't paint you as, you know, suggesting revolution. Your analogy is to 32 and how FDR extended it. You know, the Constitution probably gets in the way.
Hang on. I firmly believe in the revolution you're seeing going on now, the revolution of common sense to deconstruct the administrative state. You're seeing that battle and that combat politically and legally in federal courts every second, every day. And if your audience, I know they love you, but they ought to start paying attention to also this greater arc of this massive fight that's going on for the direction of this republic.
Hey, thanks for.
So, I used to be a fan of Chris Cuomo back in his days when he was on CNN. Why is this not plastered everywhere? I'm just going to put it out there. Why is this not plastered everywhere? When the only place I've seen this, haven't really seen this on any mainstream media outlet. I only saw this, first and foremost, it got suggested in my YouTube feed. That's the first thing. But then after that, I went on Twitter. And then when I went on Twitter, I simply just saw, you know, small creator pages, them talking about this. This is wild stuff. And what's even more wild about this is that even within listening to the video, there's a few things there that Steve Bannon spoke about. And Steve Bannon, oh, what a nasty piece of work. But there's a few things that even Steve Bannon spoke about where he even highlighted a few things where Trump lied. You know, he spoke about Project 2025. You know, they're basically taking a look at what it is they're going to do through that. And then the Heritage Foundation. These are all things that Donald Trump spoke about. He has no clue about these things. But now all of a sudden, you know, his former, you know, White House strategic advisor comes out and says, yeah, you know, this is what we are doing. This is what we've had in place. This is crazy. This is crazy. And what we have to understand is this. Look, like I said, you know, if you watch this channel any period of time, you'll know that I am not an individual who believes he knows everything about American politics. I had to go and do my research and I took a look. Now, the constitutional illegality of a third term. So 26th Amendment violation, this is exactly what this would be, as this is now Trump's second term that he served. And all presidents, as we know, they have a term limit. They have a term limit. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, what is it that these guys are going to do to be able to overrule the rule of law and the American Constitution to allow Donald Trump to then serve a third term? And all we have to take a look at is, look at what he's doing right now. We are seeing that these are the actions of somebody who believes he's a dictator. He believes he's a king. That's what it is that we're seeing and we're looking at right here, right now. He believes he's a king. He believes he's a dictator. And that's the reason as to why he's now utilizing the different departments of the government to be able to go after individuals that it is that he believes done him a wrong, even though they didn't. He done it to himself due to his actions. But that's what it is that we're seeing. These guys are so brazen and confident about what it is that they're doing that they believe they can just come out in the open and just tell us what it is that they're going to try and do. And if you hear the way that it is that Steve Bannon spoke about it, they're not even trying to do it. They are doing it. He even said, he literally said in that video himself, he plain outright said, we're working on it. So they are actively doing things right now to be able to put Donald Trump in a position that come the end of this term, that he can run again in 2028. That is the exact reason as to why, for me, I have this channel. I can't vote in the United States of America. I can't. I don't live in the United States of America. But I believe in democracy. Now, some of the reasons why this is just absolutely mental that this is even a conversation is, And even if you're on the left or you're on the right, or you're an independent, alarm bells need to be ringing in your head about this. They do. Because what you have to understand is this: even if you're on the right and you support Donald Trump, listen, Donald Trump's not going to be around forever. He's not going to live forever. What happens now when a Democratic individual, they then get elected to the White House, and then what they then do is they utilize the exact same things that Donald Trump tried to utilize for them to be able to stay in power. These are the things that it is that we've got to speak about. Secondly, think about the Constitution, the thing that the United States of America was built upon. If you allow one individual to now start to question and go against the Constitution, the things that America was built on, where do you think that leaves the future of your country? This is very, very crazy stuff. And the third and final thing that it is that I'd say is, we saw what happened January 6th when MAGA believed the election was stolen. We saw what happened then. So imagine if in 2028, Donald Trump really tries to go for a third term. What do you think that's going to do to the country? What do you think that's going to do to the United States? What do you think that's going to do to the world? Especially the West, where we believe in democracy. Chilling stuff, man. Genuinely chilling stuff. Look, the reality is this: overall, Donald Trump running for a third term, it violates, the Constitution. It does. And the thing that it is that the Western world is built on, democracy, it would literally erode that. And that would be a problem far beyond any single one of us. Wow, this is crazy stuff, man. Genuinely crazy stuff. As usual, guys, look, give me your thoughts in the comment section below this video. Give me your guys' thoughts. And as usual, while you guys are down there, if this is the first time you've tuned into my channel, do me a massive favor, go below and give the video give the channel a subscribe. While you're down there, give the video a thumbs up as well. And a lot of you have been asking, how is it that you can support me and what it is that I'm trying to do? Well, you'll be glad to know people can now become a member of this channel. All you got to do is click the join button that you can see below the video, and you'll become a member of this channel. I appreciate you, each and every single one of you guys. But yes, give me your comments and your thoughts in the comment section below this video. And as usual, I'll see you guys in the next one.